morning,
Sorry.
everyone, and thanks for this opportunity. And of course, Geyser, Maklang, and of course, Huawei for providing this opportunity to discuss among the prominent members of the banking, governance, money, and even digital transformation sectors. I was asked to discuss the BSP's role in fostering a competitive fintech environment to accelerate a swift uh, economic recovery by 2021. Of course, you may have seen this particular slide. The number of fintech players continue to grow or to continue to increase with, I think we have a total of close to 200 right now dealing with payments, e-wallets, e-commerce, and even regulatory technology or supervisory technology. This growing number of fintech companies, as well as the increasing number of existing financial institutions that utilize technology to deliver financial products and services, prompted the BSP to issue regulations. Regulations not to stifle innovation, but to protect the interests of the general public. Of course, with the full recognition that these technological innovations can really contribute to our common goal of financial inclusion and digitization. Now, the recent developments have also prompted us no, not us, some advanced economies to accelerate the creation or building of smart cities. No? So at this point, Philippine cities cannot yet compete with the likes of course, New York. You have there New York, Singapore, or Tokyo. But that doesn't mean that we should not embrace smart governance. I personally believe that uh, uh, we as an emerging market, as an emerging market, we should embrace or fully adopt smart governance because this is really a great first step to building smart cities. And when we say smart governance, it's all about leveraging on the limitless potentials and possibilities given by innovative solutions. And it's really geared towards the betterments of lives of our people. And it's also anchored on the principles of transparency and accountability. And I would like to highlight I would like to cite our 3-year digital payment transformation roadmap as an example, since one of its ultimate goal really is to achieve inclusive prosperity among our fellow Filipinos. Now, given that, again, you may have seen these slides presented by our governor or by a deputy governor, I would like to highlight that the BSP has always been supportive of all of these fintech endeavors, and our approach to fintech has always been shaped by these principles. Of course, regulation has to be risk-based and proportionate. We always maintain active multi-stakeholder collaboration among different stakeholders, government, private sector. And for us, we believe that for fintech initiatives to be impactful, we must work on making this for the benefit of our consumers. Now, let me start first with of course, collaborative engagement. We feel that there's really a need for a whole of government approach, in fact, whole of society approach when speaking about fintech initiatives, right? So we've been collaborating with different government agencies. In fact, there's a fintech committee composed of the different financial regulators, BSP, SEC, IC, and PDIC. The ultimate objective really is to share experiences, to ensure alignment of supervisory approaches. And our test and learn approach, or the regulatory sandbox, is also a good opportunity to collaborate with new players to allow them to operate in a controlled environment, and for us to learn about these new technologies, this innovation, and of course with the end goal of uh, giving us direction when it comes to regulations. And so far, more than 20 products and services have already undergone our test and learn environment. And of course, one of the principles that shape our fintech approach is capacity building. And you know that there's a dedicated department in the BSP that handles supervision of cybersecurity and even emerging technology. And I handle that I head that particular department, and we continue to digitize, we continue to capacitize this particular department. And the regulators or the supervisors, the central banks, can also leverage on technology to uh, to make their functions more efficient, right? So we recently launched our chat box, our chatbot. So it's really an automated complaint handling system which uses predictive analytics to address concerns of our consumers. We are also in the process of acquiring an API-based regulatory reporting system which is really intended to facilitate collection and analysis of reports submitted by financial institutions. We are also in the process of acquiring an end-to-end cybersecurity supervision solution. Really, the objective is to streamline or to automate manual processes and to enhance the quality and timeliness of our risk-based decisions. And when we speak of the last principle, which is really commensurate regulation, regulation is not one size fits all. We have to work on always ensuring that we minimize regulatory arbitrage. And this we do by ensuring that there's a level playing field among incumbents and new players. So we regulate based on activity. So the same e-money and AML rules would apply across all players. So regardless of whether the issuer is a bank or a fintech company. So all the relaxations in terms of the rules, let's say on KYC, would apply to incumbents and even the new fintech players. So that's how we ensure that there's a level playing field. And in terms of the forthcoming rules, the DCE rule, which will soon be replaced by our guidelines for virtual asset service providers. And as mentioned by John earlier, we have already uploaded the open finance framework in our website. So it's open for comment. Those are some of the regulations. In fact, plus the recently approved digital banking circular. Those are expected to further expand the adoption of digital financial services in the Philippines. And of course, provide opportunities to both incumbents and new fintech players. And I would just like to summarize, I would like to end this particular keynote by summarizing the BSP's approach in fostering a safe and competitive fintech environment. So there are actually 3 key points that I would like to highlight. Of course, the BSP remains steadfast in supporting beneficial innovations as we closely collaborate with all our stakeholders. We take on that very challenging task of striking the right balance between fostering innovation and ensuring that safeguards and appropriate risk management standards are in place. And finally, we maintain a forward-looking approach to ensure that the regulatory and supervisory frameworks are in tune with the trends and development. Through constant surveillance and monitoring of the market environment, the BSP stands ready to adapt to the challenges and opportunities ahead. Thank you so much.